Hi, welcome back to another Translator Insider. So let's talk about translation, and we continue our talking about clients, about getting into the profession, etc., etc. Today we are talking about something that is part of that, which is building your ideal client profile. It's something that it's becoming more and more trickier. As you know, the industry is suffering a massive change. It's getting really hard in the profession, and some of us are leaving. But I believe it's not all doom and gloom if you choose wisely and if you know what to do. I think there is still a place for you. So let's go and choose our ideal client. How do we choose? How do we face these challenges and still have a good outcome? So, in any industry, in any service, any service provider knows that to establish themselves in their market, it's pivotal that they make their ideal client profile. That is something that is very important, because if you create your ideal profile of your client, your ideal client, you know exactly what you are looking for, and then you can research and do all your market study based on that imaginary person, on that profile, and then you know where those clients might be, what type of things, for example, they publish on social media, what type of content do they consume, so you know what kind of content will you have to produce for them. So this is all. This is how you actually build up all your strategy, because just marketing for the sake of it, for example, I'm a professional translator, I do this, I do that, well, it really doesn't get you there, because everybody will see your profile, they will know that you are a professional translator. Of course, you can advertise your services, and you can put advertising that you can help clients doing this, doing that. Yes, you can advertise that way, but it should be a complement. It should be something that is added to more content, and that content must be directed exclusively to that client profile. So let's talk about the client profile and how we build that client profile for our business, because everyone is different, obviously. I would say that your best research is searching within yourself, because you will have the answers that you need. So there are different types of clients, everybody knows. The important is to know what you like, what do you want from your business, and where do you want to go. That is the importance on all of this. Once you know all of this, you can start build all your strategy based on this little approach. So we have private clients and we have agencies. We have direct clients, I should say, and we have agencies. So in the direct clients, we have two main types of clients, which are the private clients and the corporate clients. Obviously, most of us aim for the corporate clients, because they are the, I would say, most profitable type of direct client. If, for example, and this is what you should start first, have an assessment of what you like to do, of what you want to do. If you are keen in doing marketing, for example, and producing content, and that procurement and all this process around getting direct clients, because they are obviously, for direct clients, you need more work, you need a marketing campaign, you need that procurement. They don't just come to you just because you exist. You need to go after them, you need to expose yourself to them, you need I know it sounded bad, but I know you also got what I wanted to say. You need to be there and exposed to what they create. You need to be out there so they can see you, they can see what you're doing, and possibly contact you. So direct clients need a bit more work. If you really are not keen in marketing, social media, etc., then you might go look into agencies, and that all you need is a very good CV. You send your CV through, they put you in their database, and once they have a project that suits you, they may contact you. The thing with agencies, and by no means, I've reiterated this several times over the years, please don't think that just because the agencies, they are going to be bottom feeders, or they are going to exploit you or anything like that. There is good agencies and there is bad agencies, and you really need to stand out. Well, you need to go and search. There is very boutique agencies that may like to work with more specialized translators. So look in your niche, look in your specialization. If there is a very specialized agency that works in that field, because they might be looking for someone like you, they might be looking for someone that actually offers them that expertise. Of course, we have all those agencies that we already know that want work in seconds, but paying nothing. We already know all of that, and it's up to us to accept or not a project like that. So this is what we have, either direct clients or we have agencies. Within the direct clients, I already said, we have the private clients and the corporate clients. The private clients, I would say it's more for those of us who do things like certified translation. In Australia, for example, it is very common because we have NATI, we have certified translators, we can create the final product for the client. So that means there is a market for certified translators. In some countries where this does not happen, obviously there won't be that much of a market like that. It will be more of a generalized market where that documentation, where that service, that in countries where this certification exists, are more localized. So you need to look into that. For those countries where the certification exists, there is obviously an influx or some private clients that will contact you for translations, several translations, for applications, things that they have to do with authorities, etc. And that, for example, in my case, that's one of my main sources of income. It's my certified translation. I work with people that do all sorts of things with the Portuguese government, and I usually translate documents that then go for applications with the Portuguese consulate in Sydney. That's one of my main sources of income. It's exactly that, is the certified translation. It also depends on the direction of translation that you have in your certification. Another thing that I would recommend before you get your qualifications going, set up this very wisely, know where the market is, where the clients are, So when you set up everything, your qualifications, you are already setting the qualification in the right direction, in the direction that you will be more profitable. That's a recommendation. That's what I would do. I didn't do it because, as I said, I mentioned this in Portugal, and everywhere translation is defined as the conversion of a text in a foreign language into your mother tongue. That's why I have the certification in English to Portuguese. For example, if I had taken my qualifications in Australia, I would definitely go for the other direction. And obviously, that would mean more influx of work. So be aware of all these things. Be aware of what you can do and of what you cannot do. Another thing that I would recommend is, for example, if you go into a direction, I'm going to give the English as an example because I think it would be easier to explain. If you want to go, for example, from, I'm giving you my pair of languages, Portuguese into English, make sure, for example, that you live in an English-speaking country. I'm not saying that if you don't, your English is not up to scratch or you don't have a good quality of English. For example, if you sit an RT test, you need to prove that proficiency. However, I believe that if you live in a country where the language is spoken, you get all those cultural nuances, all those cultural traces that you need to do your job efficiently. I cannot say that if I had not moved to Australia, and I am doing it to Portuguese, so I am not doing it into English, but I can say with confidence that if I had not moved to Australia and if I was doing this from Portugal without living in Australia or possibly UK, US, whatever, one country that spoke English, my quality might have not been as good as it is, because you really need to understand the culture, the everything, so you can pass that message efficiently. Because if you don't know the culture, and I'm giving you Australian English as an example, everybody knows that Australian English is very, very, very particular. We have a particular slang, which every country has, by the way, but and there's all these cultural traces in Australia that if you are outside Australia, you may not know. You might read the words, you might translate the words, but you may not know the meaning of those words in Australia, or when those words are used in that context, what meaning do they have in Australia? So that's, for example, a case. Of course, there will be exactly the same type of examples in the US or in the UK, New Zealand, South Africa. Every single country is different. And if you don't immerse yourself in the culture, and if you don't immerse yourself in the language, you might not do the job as good as if you not, because if you don't immerse yourself in the culture, you may be very good with the language, you may understand the language, you may speak the language, but you're lacking that proficiency, you're lacking that cultural development, that cultural immersion that you need in order to do your job correctly. So please bear in mind this. This is very important. But let's talk about our ideal client. I'm digressing. I digress because I think this is very important as well. So let's talk about the clients. Private clients, usually a one-off job. Sometimes they may come back with me throughout my career. I had lots of clients that contacted me for one project, and then they needed more translations a few years down the track. They still had my contact and they came back to me. So chances are, if you are good, that's the pivotal thing here. If you have quality, if you really respect your clients and treat your clients decently, rest assured they will come back. That is a given. The best, and I've said so many times, I've been saying this since I started, the best marketing campaign is a satisfied customer. If you have a client that was satisfied, that was happy with your service, that really got, let's say we are talking about private clients, that really got their application approved, everything runs smoothly, the translations were in order, and everything runs smoothly, they will appreciate that you provided them with a great service. And if they have more translations, they will come back to you. Or if they know someone else that are in the process of doing the same thing or a different thing and they need translations, they will come back to you. This has been my experience over the years. I had many clients that contacted me, I did a project for them, and then they came back, and they came back sometimes twice, whatever times they needed, because they were happy with the service, they were happy with how everything went. So when they needed translations again, they came back to me because they already knew me, they already worked with me, and they knew that how I work, the service, etc. So make sure that your customer service level is always on a high, that you provide great customer service, so your clients are really happy with what you provide them with. If you do that, that is a bulk of your marketing campaign done, I would say. But not just that, you really need to obviously advertise. You can have your social media, etc. For corporate clients, however, it's slightly different. Corporate clients usually may require more volume of work. It might be a company expanding to another country or doing business with another country, depending on the direction of translation that you are doing. And they may contact you once for a project. They may like your services. Again, I stress, customer service level is pivotal for your success. If the client comes for a first project and they are very happy with the way that you conduct yourself, the way that the quality of your work and how everything played out, they will come back. They will be happy to come back if they need more translation. And if it's a corporate client, if it's a company that needs that volume of translations, they may come to you because they had a very positive experience. So they may come to you. They may even sign a contract. It happened to me. I had one of my corporate clients. They came to me for certified translation. They needed some documents translated for an application. I did that for them. And then because they were happy with the service I provided, they came back to me and we signed a contract, and I've been working with them for 8 years. So this is a very good thing. If you provide service, your clients will come back. So bear in mind that most of your marketing campaign must be a good service. And then, of course, you need to think about your specialization. Whatever field of specialization you have, your niche, like we spoke last week, your niche. If you think about your niche, you go, of course, and you already know which type of client you would like to work with. That's your ideal client. That's that profile of that person that you would like to work with. Either, for example, if you on the certified translation part and you would just like to work with private clients, I would say, I'm going to be very honest, that wouldn't be enough just alone, unless you live in a country where there is high demand for this sort of applications and you have a constant volume of work. Well, then You might assess. It's always important to assess the market, to know whatever it's out there for you. But in terms of corporate clients, just have a look. Which type of company would you like to work with? And then go have a look, see what they publish on social media, see what type of content do they consume, see where they comment, where you see the comments from that company, where you see, for example, them sharing other information. What events do they go? Do they go to certain events? Are they represented in certain events? What type of events are they in? Can you attend those events and show yourself and show your work and show your profile or something like that? Make sure that you study those clients, that ideal client of yours, those companies, you know where they are, and then you have to build your marketing campaign on that, around those clients. They need to notice you. You need to be there for them to see. So you need to get their exposure in the market. But, and I also have said this many times, when you publish something on social media, when you publish something that is related to your marketing campaign, please do not post on translations. Your clients do not want any lessons in translation. Your clients do not want you to talk about how you're going to translate documents, etc., etc., just like I'm doing here. This channel is for translators, therefore I'm talking about translation. If it was for my clients, I would not be talking about this subject because my clients would not be interested in. They are not interested in doing translations or how a translation is done because they rely on you to do that job for them. So think about that. Do not come with education, so to speak, about translation. And I must say, I'm guilty of that. At the beginning of my career, I was guilty of that. I was posting about a lot of things related to translation. For example, things that I thought clients should bear in mind when contacting translators and things like that. That puts clients off. They don't really want any sort of lecture on translation or anything like that. You just stand out with the knowledge that you have of their field. It's all about them. It's never about you. When to the marketing campaign, to what the marketing campaign is concerned, it's all about your clients. It's all about what they want to read. It's all about what they do, and you proving your understanding, your knowledge of what they do, and how you can solve their particular problems with your job, with your work. One of the things, and obviously currently our industry is facing a massive challenge, and we all know that, AI, etc. So another secret, diversify your services. Try to find another service that you can provide, that you are good with, and you can diversify your service. I say, if you are good with web designing, for example, you can incorporate, for example, copywriting. If you're good with copywriting, incorporate copywriting, web designing in your offerings, so your clients can see that you end up being a one-stop shop. They can come to you, you can produce the content, for example, for their website. You can then translate that content in another language, and you can create the website for them. You can then put them on a plan where you do the maintenance of their website, when you go and check if the plugins are in order, if all the things are in order. Try to diversify. I think creativity is the key here. And in this market, in the current situation, we really need to diversify. We really need to think outside the box and create other things that will still attract clients. But in regards to translation, we always have to do what our clients want to see. we need to show them that we are the right match for them with showing them the knowledge that we have of their field, not our field, their field, which is our specialization. That is what is very important. And again, as I said in the last videos, your specialization does not need to be anything fancy. It can just be something that you are very comfortable with. And the same goes for your marketing campaign. If you are not very confident about doing video, for example, of course you're not going to create a YouTube channel or do videos on Instagram or something like that, because if you're not comfortable with, they won't come up as good. However, and for my own experience, if you challenge yourself and you get out of your comfort zone, it's always a good thing. I wasn't very confident about doing video before. If you see the very first video I've done on YouTube, it's horrible. It's horrible. I was talking like a robot. I was not confident at all. I was really scared. And look at me now. I'm very confident talking to you. And I've had these channels. Now I have 2 channels, and I have these channels for a while. So, having said that, you might not be confident, but you really need to think outside the box, get out of your comfort zone, because when you get out of your comfort zone, not only you learn a new thing, but you excel. You go higher and higher and higher. So please bear this in mind as well. But again, in your marketing campaign, do what you are comfortable with. Talk about something that you are really comfortable talking. Don't try to go and delve into a subject that you might not have enough knowledge of, or that you might not be confident enough to talk about, because that will go against you. Your clients will see this person is really trying, but they are not up to scratch yet. They're not quite there yet, if you know what I mean. So don't overthink things. I don't think that's a good thing. Don't overthink things. Just see a subject that you are confident with, search the market, find that ideal client that you really like, that you think it would work for you, diversify your offerings, and make sure that in your marketing campaign you show them how you can help them, not how you do your job. They don't want to know about it. For example, if you are working in agencies, then your focus must be on a very good CV. You must have a very good CV with the main projects that you've done, because obviously if you are doing certified translation, you will have a lot of clients, and it's really redundant to have 10 pages of CV just with clients. Just put the main projects, maybe some corporate clients you did, or the biggest projects you did, or the latest projects you have done. I would do that. Your qualifications, etc., etc. Have a very nice, clean CV that you can show the agency the quality of your work. Have a price list. Show them what your prices are and what the offerings are. If you have diversified your offerings, you might also let the agency know about that, because maybe they can hire you to do multiple things. I would just let them know, doesn't hurt, so they would know all your offerings, etc. The main thing is diversify your offerings, aim for a specific type of client that you identify as your ideal client, and once you have that ideal client profile, you build everything else around this person or people. But let's imagine we build our marketing campaign around this ideal client. What do they do? What do they talk about? What their interests are? That's what we need to answer ourselves based on looking at what they do, and then, okay, how can I respond to that? What are the problems that they face? How can I solve those problems? I think I can solve those problems with my work. So I have to create content that lets them know, that let them see that I'm skilled enough to have the answers that they look for. I can help them solve their problems, and this is how I'm going to help them. You need to be very targeted on your approach. Just please don't be, that obvious with I can solve your problems, I can do this, I can do that. Just be targeted. Just be, and show a bit of empathy. I can understand how these days it's very difficult to do this or do that, but that's why I've been searching, I've been working on this, and I have developed this knowledge. I know that this is what works, etc., etc. So they see, okay, this person is really committed to this. They got my attention. They have been researching. It looks like they have good answers here. Looks like they are on the right track. Let me give them a call or send them an email to see if they can work with me. That's how you should do things. Try to see what your clients' problems are and then come showing them solutions that you can bring. And this is how you target for that ideal client. Without making this profile of ideal clients, you are basically lost, because what are you going to do? You're going to post on social media that you are a translator, that you do this, that you do that, that your specialization is this or that. That's too vague. That's too broad, too general. You need to target. That's why creating that profile means that everything that you create is for that profile. That entails those clients that meet those standards. So you are just catering for that profile, that particular profile. Once you do that, you start everything, and all your strategy is targeted to that type of client. And of course, I would say it gives you more results. For today, hope you like it. Hope you open a little bit of your horizons about this ideal client profile. I know that sometimes people may think, oh, what is that, and how can I do that? And basically, these days, with all the challenges out there, some people might think, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. Well, I think if you diversify your offerings, I think if you are very good on what you do, and if you put a good marketing campaign out there, there is a space for you, because obviously there are things that are irreplaceable in terms of translation, and there are fields that still want a human eye doing things, because obviously we are the ones who have the knowledge, who know the nuances, the cultural traces, everything. A machine cannot do it. So we need to diversify and still show clients that this is why we exist. This is why we need, or they need us to help them. So if you really think outside the box, if you really build your campaign really well, I think that is a good chance that you will find something for you. If you have any ideas, or for example, let me know what are you doing lately? Have you been diversifying your services? What services do you provide? When you chose your ideal client, how did you do? Or for example, what direction of language do you translate, or do you translate both? There are some colleagues that do that. What do you do? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be very happy to know your stories, to know your experiences. And of course, if you have any suggestion about any topic that you would like me to talk about in these insiders, please leave a comment below, suggest, and I'll be very happy to accommodate. Or if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, please leave me a comment below. And of course, put a like in the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new insiders every week. The channel has been growing. I'm very happy, but you know how this YouTube algorithm works. They are always looking to see if there's likes, if there's shares, if comments, and if the channels have that, they will redistribute the content to more people, and that's how the channels grow. So if you can, put a like, share my videos with your friends, and of course put a comment, because it really helps me grow. It's for free, helps me grow, and maybe reach more people. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.